Hey, Drew, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much. My name is Ed Easton Jr. from USA Today's NFL Wire. And
Okay.
I'm just happy to talk about your collaboration with Jimmy John's and all the great stuff that you're doing. And I can't help but start from your own special sandwich, the Breeze number 9. Just can you just talk a little bit to that and everything that goes into this special sandwich?
Yeah. Well, first off, there's a lot of history there. So I grew up in Texas and went to Purdue University to play football and get a great education back in 1997. And I was probably ordering Jimmy John's to my dorm room my freshman year about 3 times a week. And I was always amazed that even at like 3 in the morning, I could just dial up Jimmy John's. The next thing I know, some guy would come riding up in a bicycle about 15 minutes later with this perfect number 9 sandwich, which is called the Italian nightclub. And it's salami, capicola, ham, and then obviously lettuce, tomatoes, onions, oil, vinegar, salt, pepper, and then like this basil oregano mix. And it was like the greatest bite of food ever. So obviously I lived on that in college. And then obviously here we are 25 years later, and that's still probably one of my favorite meals there is. Although I modified a little bit because I can't do dairy, so I go no cheese, but then add hot peppers. So that is the actual secret to the Breeze number 9. And basically from now until the end of August, even though I'm trying to talk them into the rest of the year, is if you go into a Jimmy John's anywhere in the country and you say, "Give me the Breeze number 9," that is exactly the sandwich you're going to get. It's the Italian nightclub, no cheese, add hot peppers. And those proceeds will be going to the Jimmy John's Foundation, which is supporting the Breeze Dream Foundation as well as Boys and Girls Clubs around the country. So really, really excited about that. We are actually the Jimmy John's franchisees here in the New Orleans market. So we've got 12 stores here in the New Orleans market. Have been doing that since 2011. And it's been a great relationship, great partnership with Jimmy John's ever since.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're revealing your secret, your magic to
That's
a lot of
right.
your game and to a lot of your success over the
Like,
years.
put it this way, we love Jimmy John so much. In college, we would actually go to the store like at the very end of the night when they were closing, just to get the all the French bread that was still available, that otherwise, would just go to waste because they cook it fresh every day. And we would basically take that home and then we would, do all kinds of different stuff. We'd make sandwiches with it, or we'd even, kind of go butter, cinnamon, sugar, toast it. Like we would do all kinds of stuff because the bread was just so dang good. But yeah, that's I've been a fan of Jimmy John's for a long time.
That's actually very smart and also cost efficient. You gotta
That's right. You're a college student. You got to be cost efficient for sure.
definitely. And then you're also doing a pickle fest. You're working with that. Can you just speak to that as well?
Yeah, so this is our foundation event. So the Breeze Dream Foundation, which has been established since 2003 to help improve the quality of life for patients with cancer and also provide care education opportunities for children and families in need. Obviously, we've been involved with the New Orleans community now for 20 years, going back to the rebuilding efforts in 2006, post Katrina, rebuilding schools, parks, playgrounds, athletic fields, funding childcare programs, to now even taking on bigger projects like public private partnerships in and around affordable housing, building healthcare facilities in underserved communities, 13 of them to be exact, with Ochsner Health Systems here in the state, and so many other things. So we've been able to raise our commit over $55 million over the last 20 years, which has been remarkable. We've had so many great partners along the way. Obviously, Jimmy John's being one of them. That's why these relationships are so important. But this NOLA Pickle Fest is one of our signature foundation events. I'm here in the New Orleans Convention Center right now, which hosts many a mega event throughout the year, and this is one of them. So as I look around me, I literally have 30 pickleball courts just with the games and matches going on right now. Our center court is sitting right here. It's a black and gold court. It's pretty awesome. It's surrounded by Mardi Gras floats. So that's basically all of our hospitality areas. So as people come to watch some of the final matches tomorrow, it's going to be right here at center court. They're going to be, hanging out in the grandstands and on the Mardi Gras floats. And actually, Andre Agassi is coming tomorrow. He and I are going to partner to play against some really high level players. And then he and I are going to have a singles match as well. So he loves the game. He's obviously an extremely charitable person, cares about our foundation and so many other causes. And so he's going to be in New Orleans, lands here shortly, and that'll be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Now, how would you rate your game? I've seen a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of former retired NFL quarterbacks that have gotten into pickleball and play it very competitive. How would you rate yourself?
Yeah, I would say it's more. I mean, I'm Probably the best one I've seen is Danny Warfel. Uh, Danny Warfel is playing. I think he's playing professional in the 50 and up pickleball league. I played him in a tournament one time and got smoked. He's pretty good. I mean, really good. Um, look, I play for fun. I play with my family, friends. Got a good group that I play with. But honestly, I love to compete. So, and I'm a sports junkie. So pick the sport, and chances are I play it. I love to play it, and that's just that you gotta scratch that competitive itch somehow, in retirement.
Funny you brought up Danny Warfel. That's the first person I thought about. I spoke to him about this
Yeah,
thing. He's definitely into everything with that. And I
yeah.
just for you and everything that you've done with New Orleans, obviously as a player, and you continue to give back to the community. How much has the city just meant to you, and not only your career, but just in your life?
Oh, it's meant so much. I came here to point in my career back in 2006 when I was coming off a major shoulder injury, leaving the San Diego Chargers. Not sure what my career held. Not sure if I'd ever be able to play football again, to be quite honest with you. I had doctors tell me that. And so I think my career and just future were hanging in the balance. And obviously New Orleans coming off Hurricane Katrina, probably feeling a lot of the same emotions, not sure what the future held. And yet we just came together at that perfect time. I mean, I feel like it was God's calling for me and my wife Brittany to be here in New Orleans, to land here in New Orleans, and to have the opportunity that we had here, and to be a part of the resurrection of one of America's greatest cities. So it's been an incredible journey, and we New Orleans will always be in my blood. No matter where in the world I am, no matter what I'm doing. New Orleans is just one of those special places, unlike any other. I think people probably witnessed that a lot during the Super Bowl this year. I mean, it was an incredible experience. I think for so many people, everyone I talked to was like, "This city's amazing. This city should host a Super Bowl every 4 years." I mean, that's just the truth. It was built for it. But also, I think just the people they know hospitality. They know how to show people a good time. They want to show the best in New Orleans to everybody who comes in town.
Definitely. And just speaking about the Super Bowl, obviously a dominant victory by the Eagles to win the title. What were your thoughts, just for example, Patrick Mahomes and everyone making a big deal of what happened during the game, his performance, and having issues with the offensive line? As obviously a quarterback and all the success you had in your career, how important is the offensive line and just everybody being on the same page? I feel like a lot of people say it, but only people that have really experienced it can really describe the importance of just having a great offensive line.
I mean, the game is really won and lost in the trenches, so to speak, right? So it's with the O line, it's with the D line, and then their ability to get pressure on the quarterback and affect the run game. I mean, at the end of the day, for a quarterback, you you need a run game to create some balance, right? Which in large part is that front five linemen plus a tight end who are moving guys off the ball and creating lanes for the runners. And then obviously in the passing game, one little breakdown up front can affect your opportunity to make a big play or not make a big play down the field. And obviously those are the differences in the game. It's usually when high level teams are playing against each other, it's two or three plays in the game that make the difference, right? And so did you make it or did you not? And I mean, with a guy like Mahomes, obviously he has the ability to make everybody look good. I mean, there's plenty of times where I'm watching the tape and guy comes free and he's making a miss or he's doing something to extend the play and then keeps the drive alive or makes a big play and you're like, okay, that was just Mahomes being Mahomes. But at the end of the day, it's a team game and that offensive line is so crucial in regards to the success of the quarterback and just the overall comfort level because plenty of times too where all of a sudden if the D line's getting after you or you're having breakdowns up front, it certainly works into your thought process. You begin to speed up a little bit. You begin to think, hey, I got to get the ball out, and so that can affect a lot of things. It can affect the way the play caller handles the game too. Hey, I'm just not going to be able to dial up certain things because we can't protect it. But look, that Eagles front was outstanding during the Super Bowl. So I don't know if that was as much. I don't think it's anything against the KC front. I think it's more so the fact that they were just so outstanding on the other side of the ball. But yeah, that was obviously that game got away from him.
Definitely did. And, obviously Kansas City went to the Super Bowl 3 straight years. Because of that, they had to go through some of the best quarterbacks in the league in regards to their teams with the Ravens and the Bills, talk about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. When you look at both of those players in terms of their legacies, how important is it for them to get through Kansas City and actually not only reach the Super Bowl, but win one?
Yeah, look, I think they have to, and you look at the history of sports and Um, you know, from going back to Bulls Pistons, right? Bulls couldn't get past the Pistons. They had to figure out a way to do it, and the bad boys go in too, and they're kind of beating up Jordan. And then, you know, Jordan kind of goes through that evolution of, all right, I got to gain 15 pounds so I can take the pounding when I go in the paint against these guys, right? So like just little things like that where it's like, all right, what's going to be the key? Because there's no doubt that both the Ravens and the Bills sit there on their schedule, and it's like they circle the Chiefs. It's like not only do we have to get by these guys in the regular season, but they're the team that we're going to have to beat in the postseason. And in many cases, it's been in Arrowhead, although the Chiefs have kind of gone everywhere and won too. So yeah, absolutely. That's that's what they're thinking about. And man, tons of respect to the Chiefs because they do have the bullseye on their chest. I mean, no matter who they play or where they go, they always have the bullseye on their chest, and yet they find ways to win. It's a ton of credit to Andy Reid and Mahomes and that whole crew, and just the mindset that they've created over there. But yeah, I think at some point, I mean, even look at Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, right? Brady and the Patriots kind of had the best of the Colts for a long time, right? And then finally, kind of Colts got over the hump with them, and you felt like that kind of turned the tide a little bit, maybe just from a confidence perspective or just whatever. But yeah, let's not forget Burrow and the Bengals. That's the team that seems like they always play the Chiefs as tough as anybody, and then have gotten had their number a few times. So yeah, the AFC is pretty stout.
Definitely. And I have two quick questions for you. Obviously, staying with you just saw about the Chiefs, and even in the AFC West, a coach that you're very familiar with, Sean Payton, and the job that he's done with the Denver Broncos. I'm just curious your thoughts and just his development with Bo Nix.
Yeah. I know Sean's excited about his team. I know over the last few years, you've just seen the way that they've built it. Um, just knowing Sean, look, he wants to play great defense. He wants to run the football. People talk about obviously what he does in the pass game and everything, but really those are the core principles. If you play great defense and run the football, that sets you up for success in a lot of ways. But especially for a quarterback, that's quarterback's best friend when you have those two things operating at a high level. I think Bo, been really impressed with him. I had a chance to spend some time with him. I think he's a really bright guy. He's got a ton of experience and maturity beyond his years. Played a ton of college football, 61 starts or something. And he's got a unique skill set because he's an incredible athlete. He's a great track athlete in high school. You can see that when he runs and extends plays. But also his ability to execute the kind of short intermediate passing game and then really push the ball down the field. Is impressive. Got some big targets there in Denver. So I think they have high hopes. They have high expectations. Obviously, playing a tough division. Because the Chargers with Harbaugh are going to be ground and pound, great defense. And obviously had a great year last year. And then of course the Chiefs and so we'll they got their work cut out for them. But I know they have high expectations.
And lastly, obviously, Antonio Gates goes into the Hall of Fame this past about just recently, I should say.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts now, obviously, on just one of your former teammates going in, and now that you're first year eligible for 2026? I don't know if that's on your mind at all, going through the process.
Yeah, I was actually in Canton to celebrate Antonio Gates going in. He was an incredible teammate. I was a teammate of his in '03, '04, and '05. Really some incredible years, just to kind of watch his his journey from, being basically a college basketball player, never taking a snap in the NFL, which I know that was the storyline, was he's the first NFL Hall of Famer who never took a snap of college football. It's pretty remarkable when you think about it. But the player he became, the type of teammate he was, just the way the team loved him, community loved him in San Diego. Um, pretty amazing his journey, and he deserved to be celebrated. And so it was really like a big Charger reunion back there. It was fun to see all those guys. But yeah, I'd say when I was there, it became a little bit of reality. Like, okay, I'm eligible, and just kind of soaking it all in, just the way that I've been there a few times to watch some other teammates go in, and it's really it's really an amazing club that those guys have a chance to be a part of. And just talking to them, that's what you really feel is that it's not only just the history of the game, but it's all these multiple generations of guys that continue to come back year after year and support each other, and it's just a reflection of kind of the evolution of the NFL, and I think what it's meant to so many people, and to so many communities and to so many fan bases, and you just feel that energy when you're there.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm looking forward to hopefully trying that Breeze number nine, man. That sounds amazing.
Oh,
So
go get it. There you go. No cheese hot, add hot peppers.
here you go. Thank you so much, man.
All right, man. See you.